A month after two fake dentists were busted in Buckeye, 12 News has obtained video from the Arizona Attorney General's office showing one of them giving a consultation to a confidential informant.
Team 12's Mike Gonzalez is following the case and has an inside look at the operation that was so detailed they even had a fully functional dental chair in the office.
Yeah, Caribe and Mark, this was really eye-opening. Germán Romero Valdez and Nadiesa Vidales Polido are both accused of offering a wide range of dental services, primarily to immigrants from Mexico and Central America. And we're talking tooth extractions, crowns, using anesthesia. Even more troubling, they offered these services inside their home. A confidential informant working for Homeland Security, hiding a secret camera, exposing an unlicensed dental practice in a Buckeye home. Do I need both teeth removed, the man asks. The woman in the video responds by saying, generally, I recommend to kill the nerve for both teeth and then get a crown. The often shaky video obtained by 12 News showing the inside of the home where police say Nadiesa Vidales Polido and Germán Romero Valdez were performing dental procedures.
He was taking care of people that didn't have insurance. They couldn't pay the high prices.
Underground dentists are nothing new in the Valley immigrant community. Neighbors we spoke with shortly after the pair's arrest supporting their practice.
I am pro-dentist with no license.
I didn't see any harm in it. You know, everybody's got to make a living somehow.
But the AG's office not agreeing with that assessment, saying the unlicensed dentists are putting lives at risk. Services they were provided included teeth cleaning, extractions costing as much as $200. The woman in the video saying putting on a crown for the man would cost almost $2,000. The pair now facing felony charges for practicing dentistry without a license. Okay, so both Vidales Polido and Romero Valdez were in court yesterday for a hearing, and they asked the judge to extend the time they have to challenge the grand jury's proceedings. That was granted by the judge. Their next court date is scheduled for June 26. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Okay, Mike, thanks.